I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country. I am a river, down in the valley, oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. World's greatest. World's greatest. I am a giant, I am an eagle, oh, I am a lion, down in the jungle. I am a marching band, I am the people, oh, I am a helping hand, I am a hero. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. In the ring of life, I'll reign love, I will reign, and the world will know this is my king.
Thank you. We will now stand for the national anthem of Barbados. Honorable K. McConney, Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Senator Andrele Boyce, Mr. J. Wiltshire, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw, Chief Education Officer, Most Honorable Carrie-Ann Eiffel, graduates of the special units, staff of the Ministry of People Empowerment, Ministry of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, and the National Disabilities Unit, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, welcome to our graduation reception. Before we go any further into the graduation, we will invoke the name of the Lord, and we will ask our Deputy Director, Mr. Rayners, to come and open in prayer.
Good morning, one and all. Please stand for a word of prayer, those who are able to stand. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we ask your blessings on all gathered here. We ask for special blessings on these children as we celebrate their achievements in their recent examinations. Grant them clarity, wisdom, and focus. Fill them with confidence and peace. Guide their minds and hands, and may your presence be their source of strength and understanding as they navigate their new worlds in secondary school. In your mercy, we pray for you to provide opportunities for learning so that through education, these children may find the hope and skills for a better future. We know that with you, all is possible. And once they stay focused on you, Lord, they will continue to realize their dreams and aspirations. Father in heaven, we pray for the parents and families, praying that they continue to guide and support, setting the correct example for our children to follow. Dear Lord, we pray for our teachers. Thank you for every teacher who notices a child's special gift, those who are listeners and gentle guides, those who motivate these children to give up their best. We offer up special prayers for those agencies and individuals who work for the empowerment of those who are marginalized or oppressed in our society. Give them a voice and empower them to continue advocating for justice and equality. Help us to stand in solidarity with those who are suffering and to work towards a society where all are treated with dignity and respect. All these things we ask in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and Savior. Amen.
You may be seated, please. Let me apologize to you. We want to welcome our very own minister, Honorable Kurt Humphrey. I apologize, Minister. I know you're here. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs. Welcome, Minister. At this time, we have our Director, Mr. John Hollisworth, who will come and give the welcome.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Honorable Kurt Humphrey, Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs. The Honorable K. McConney, Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training. Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw, Chief Education Officer. Mr. J. Wiltshire, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs. The Most Honorable Carrie Ann Iceville, Port of Barbados. Graduates of the special units, staff of the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, were not recognized for their remarkable achievement. In our minds, full appreciation was not afforded to them for surmounting the barriers they would have endured. The Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, is cognizant of the achievements of these students. Hence, we are welcoming you here this morning. This is a remarkable moment in your academic journey, students, and we are thrilled to celebrate your achievements as you graduate from primary school. To emphasize this, let me extend a special welcome to the Honorable K. McConney, Minister of Education, for participating in this reception. This is at least a signal of the importance that your accomplishment is viewed and the need for her to personally congratulate you. The Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, the Honorable Kurt Humphrey, also extends his congratulations to you. Today, you all stand on the threshold of a new beginning. filled with endless possibilities. Looking back at the years gone by, we know how much you have grown both academically and personally. You have faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and shown resilience in achieving your goals. We are proud of your hard work and dedication, and we know that your families and loved ones are too. You have completed your primary education, and now you are ready to embark on an exciting new phase of your exciting educational journey. Allow me to remind you of some important lessons that you have learned over the years. You have learned how to read, write, and calculate. But more importantly, you have learned how to be empathetic, respectful, and responsible. You have learned how to think critically, solve problems, think for yourselves, and collaborate with others. At this point, I would like you to appreciate your teachers who have been instrumental in guiding you here. They have provided you with a foundation of knowledge and skills that will be useful for future learning. They have motivated you to do your best, challenged you to do better, and made learning fun. I also want to acknowledge your parents, guardians, and loved ones who have given you love, support, and encouragement throughout your primary education journey. They have provided you with a nurturing environment for learning while being your rock every step of the way. As you move on to higher levels of education, remember to hold on to the values that you have learned. Embrace new challenges and keep an open mind to new learning experiences. Build on your strengths and work on your weaknesses. As you encounter new people, remember to extend a hand of friendship and be respectful to one another. I want to congratulate you once again on this momentous achievement. You are the leaders of tomorrow, and we cannot wait to see the great things that you will achieve in the future. Parents and teachers, we know that you would have experienced some challenging times with your children and students over the years. We want to welcome you to this reception and to express our gratitude for the sacrifices you would have made to see these children succeed. This reception is very much for you and for the students. We commend your dedication. We know that it's not the school the children go to, but what they make of the opportunity. Let me also welcome staff of the National Disabilities Unit and to commend their unswerving commitment to ensure the students are comfortable and able to bask in the glory of the moment. Members of the media and support staff are also welcome, as without your support, the exercise could be futile. Thank you all for coming, and we just hope that you enjoy the morning's proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hollingsworth. I want everyone to take a look at the graduates right now. Just have a look at those graduates, look at those faces. How do those graduates look to you? Beautiful. They are gems. They are gems, and they're going to do well. Congratulations, graduates. At this time, we'll have a special performance by the Irving Wilson School. Irving Wilson.
Gonna send a blood, gonna drown a mind.
Let's give them another round of applause, please. And you see what that son was saying? Trying to cut me down. This is me. We had the police. Graduates, we saw the clothes they were wearing, the police officer. We had the chef, we had the nurse, and we had the lady in the dress, the girl in the dress who's probably a teacher. So what that is telling you, graduates, this is me. So you can do whatever you want to do. You can be, not in a bad way, you can be whatever you want to be. So this is me. That's what they were telling you. This is me. Remember, it's you and it's you. It's only you that can carry you. Okay? So give them another round of applause. At this time, we have opening remarks. Yes, opening remarks from the most honorable Carrie-Ann Eiffel.
Minister, the Honourable Kirk Humphrey, Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs. The Honourable Kay McConney, Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training. Director of the National Disabilities Unit, John Hollingsworth. Other members of staff of the National Disabilities Unit and the various ministries. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and most importantly, graduates, good morning.
Good morning.
Before I begin my remarks, I must first deliver apologies on behalf of our very dear friend and one of your greatest supporters, the Special Envoy for Persons with Disabilities, Ms. Rosalind Hurley, who unfortunately could not be here. As everybody who knows her knows, Rosalind is one of the biggest champions of persons with disabilities in Barbados. And it is only a great personal challenge that could keep her away from being here today and smiling and greeting and cheering on all of you wonderful young people. So on behalf of my very good friend and yours, even if you've never met her, Miss Rosalind Hurley says congratulations and go on to be the wonderful people that she knows and believes that you are. So good morning on behalf of us. Today, I am extremely thrilled to be here. Do you know why?
Why?
Because today is the start of another great opportunity for you. It's a time to pause on your life's journey. It's a time for you to say, wow, I did that. That's me. They're here to see me. To see you, to see my friends, to see what my parents and my teachers all knew that I could do this. That's why I'm happy to be here today. I didn't achieve anything today. All I get to do is to tell you how wonderful you are, how proud of you we all are, and most importantly, what you have to look forward to. So I'm going to break it down into three, just three, brief, short statements. Think of it as words of advice, or, if you like, a map for your future. Promise me that? You're going to think about it? Yes?
Yes.
You sure? Only one graduate? Okay. That's what the rest of you can think about it by the time I'm finished. So here we go. Number one, celebrate. Celebrate your achievements. Celebrate the fact that you've made it here. Getting through class 4, common entrance, any exam, any test is unpleasant. I absolutely hated them. I used to wake up on mornings when I had exams and tests and try to tell my parents I didn't feel well. I couldn't go to school today. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work 2 years ago when I was doing my exams at Erdiston because I was a little too old to tell my mommy that I wanted to stay at home. But I still woke up with tummy aches and stuff because I hate tests and exams. Because all we think about on the days of tests and exam is how much I'm going to get wrong. Yes? Is that what you thought? That this is way too much for me. But guess what? You are here today because you did it. So celebrate. Celebrate every achievement. Celebrate even when you don't feel like celebrating. Because the fact that you survived it, the fact that you got through it, means that you're here to fight another day. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, do not be afraid to make mistakes. When we make mistakes in life, sometimes we're ashamed of them, we're embarrassed, and we don't like to tell other people about it. And we don't like to tell other people because we're ashamed and embarrassed. But a wise person once said, mistakes are the growing pains of wisdom. What does all that fancy wording mean? It means that if we don't make mistakes, then we can't do better. Then we can't achieve. If we get everything right, if we do everything perfect, if we always make all the right decisions, how do we know? How do we know when we're faced with something we're not sure about? So don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's number two. And number three, who knows you best? You do. Who understands you best? You do. Who feels your pains? You do. Who knows when you've done the best? You do. That's for the graduates, that's for your parents, and that's for the teachers. You know you best. And so the only person that can share how you are feeling, what you are experiencing, is you. Going into this new secondary school is going to be scary. I'm not going to hide it from you. It is going to be scary because it's a big place. It's a big place with a lot of new people. A lot of people that are taller than you, bigger than you. A lot of people who may want to threaten you, who look threatening just by standing there. If you feel uncomfortable about something, if you don't understand something in class, if you feel that there's something that just isn't right, or if there's something that you feel really good about, don't hide it. Don't keep it in here. Share it. Tell it to somebody. If you don't feel comfortable talking, write it, type it, draw it, share it. So others out there can understand you and understand what you're going through. So celebrate, don't be afraid, share. Those are the three things. Here's the bonus. You know what a bonus is? That's the extra serving. It's like, you know when you get pizza and then you get ice cream too? That's the bonus. Yeah, I know, I had too much ice cream. But the bonus is this. You are fabulous, wonderful people. Not just because you're here, not just because you made it through the exam, but because you are an example to those who are coming after you, to those who out there who don't understand. People who live with disabilities, and I say live with because I'm talking about the children, I'm talking about the parents, the teachers. People who work with, live with disabilities. We have a rare opportunity to understand what it is when life beats you down, to be able to come back fighting, to be strong. A few weeks ago, as president of the council, it was my pleasure to stand at the Olga Miller Nursery School at the culmination of a competition, My Inclusive School. It was the realization of a big dream for the council. And this dream is that one day, there will be no more special annexes. There will be no more special needs schools. There will be no more special needs classes. Instead, there is going to be an education system where everybody has an opportunity to be who they are and become everything they need to be all in one place. Yes. That's what the council dreams of. That's what we all dream of. And that is what you children represent to us at the Barbados Council for the Disabled, the National Disabilities Unit, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of People Empowerment. We don't call all those big, long, fancy names just so that we can acknowledge who's present. All of these people in this room are your champions, are your fighters, are your supporters. And so I'm going to end by reminding you about that fabulous performance. During COVID-19, two words I absolutely hate to see next to each other these days. A lot of us were depressed and upset and hurt. Our schools were closed. We didn't get to interact with our friends. We couldn't go out. We couldn't be hugging and kissing and doing all of the other wonderful things to express our emotions. Couldn't do those things. But something else happened during COVID-19. We discovered how strong, how powerful we are because we achieved that. You are the products of that disrupted, challenged environment. During that time, we found different methods to cope, to get through. That song that you just had the performance to was my fight song. That was the song that got me through the days when I didn't feel that I could go on anymore because I needed people. I needed to interact. I needed to be understood. And just as I am not ashamed or afraid to be myself, when you put on your brand new school uniforms, pick up your heavy backpacks, and put on those shoes that's so bright you can look in them and see that you didn't clean your teeth properly this morning, when you do that, step out, not just because your uniforms look so snazzy and you look so cool. Step out, hold your head up high with a great big smile and say to your new school, this is me. I'm here. Welcome me because I will be here until I have to leave. So celebrate and share and be strong. God bless and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Gary Ann. And you know, she's talking directly to you. Do you remember what she just said to you? Can any one of you tell me what she just said to you? One person, if it's one word you remember, anybody remember one word? What she said? Yes. Say it loud that everybody can hear. Yes. Anybody remember another word? Yes, in the back? She said celebrate what you achieved. Very good. Celebrate. It's all about you. Celebrate. Don't let nobody think that you can't do it. You'll be going to a new school, new people, new faces. Secondary school is not an easy road. It's not an easy road, but you will get through. You hear what the carrier say? Share. So if you're having an issue, let your mom know, your father know, your friend know, your teacher know. Even if it's your neighbor, your grandparent, let somebody know what's going on. You will be well. All I can tell you this morning is do God forth. You know they say go forth, but I'm telling you this morning, God forth. At this time, without further ado, we have our Minister of Education, the Honorable Kay McConnell. She will come and give her keynote speech.
Thank you, Madam Chair of Proceedings. Good morning. Good morning. I am not saying another word till I see some smiles from you. Smile. That's it. That's it. But I must say, Minister Humphrey, the Most Honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, our Chief Education Officer, our Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of People Empowerment, the Director of Disabilities Unit, and all those who are here, parents, friends, and more, the most important of all, graduates. I am so happy to be here this morning. You know, this is the second year that the Ministry of People Empowerment will be having this celebration. Remember, the Most Honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, she said, celebrate. And this is truly a celebration. And this is my first time being here. And it is days like this, it is occasions like this that make me so happy. So happy to be the minister responsible for education. And I want to say to all of you graduates, I am going to speak to the graduates, I'm going to speak to our teachers who are here, I'm going to speak to our parents, and hopefully we can share the same spirit about where we want to go. Graduates, a very quick word to you. There's only one word I want you to remember. Perseverance. What is it? Perseverance. You know what that means? It means that you press on no matter what. For many of you, the journey in your education has not been an easy one. You have had some challenges that some other students didn't have. You have had to face some things that some others did not. But you're here. You're here. And I want you to understand that as you now transition to secondary school, you may not have the same teacher all the time like you did in primary school. You'll find that for different subjects, you're going to have different teachers. And you're going to have many different favorite teachers. Sometimes it's going to be an up moment for you, and sometimes it's going to be a down moment. How many of you have ever seen a roller coaster? Yes, many of you have seen a roller coaster. And you know it goes up sometimes and it goes down sometimes, but guess what? It always stays on track. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to persevere through the ups and the downs, but stay on track. I want you to stay on track with your academics in terms of the work that you're going to learn at school. You know what? School, secondary school, is not only about what you do in the classroom. It is also about what you do outside of the classroom. And so I want you to stay on track with what you learn in the classroom. But I also want you, as you participate in sports and other activities, in music and sports and other activities, to recognize that those too are a part of your education. And no matter what, I want you to do what? Persevere. You know, having a diagnosis of any type of disability, including having some type of learning challenge, it doesn't mean that you need to be held back from anything you want to be. With the proper help and the proper instruction and motivation from your parents, your family, your guardians, and your teachers, you will be able to be successful in whatever you choose to be. Being different does not mean that you are incapable. And I want you never to let anyone make you feel less because you learn differently. I think we as educators and as parents, we know that every child learns in its own way and at his or her own pace. And what we have to do is to ensure that we prepare our teachers to be able to cater to the need of the student, teaching the student and not just the subject. And when you teach the student, they get the individual attention that many of these children have received. They get the special programs that many of these students have received. And they get the opportunity to move through the education system in a way that is best suited to how they learn and the pace at which they learn. Teachers, those of you who are here today, this country owes you a debt of gratitude. I know that at times things have been challenging, and today we want to thank you for the countless hours of working with these children to get them to where they are. You have to feel so very proud of the work you have done and what they have achieved. And I hope that you have understood that school is not just about how we are able to help our students to grow academically, not in size, not just in their knowledge, but in their confidence and in their resilience and in their ability to persevere. You know, in October of 2023, our Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we determined that we were going to recommence the screening of students for vision. And we did this starting with first formers in secondary school. And for this upcoming academic year, we will continue to do that screening first time for those that are 3.5 years old and 5 years old in schools. We will also continue the screening that we have done for hearing for students as well. And we will continue to expand our resources this year to do diagnostic testing for those students who may have some learning challenges. And the reason why I mention this is that sometimes we say this child has a challenge, but we didn't do the proper diagnosis to find out, was it sight? Was it that the child couldn't hear? Is there something else? And we have determined that the earlier we do this, the greater the chances are that we will catch something that could hold them back earlier and be able to intervene earlier so that they too can be like these young ones. Now, it's a long morning. You have heard many things, students, and I know some of you will not be able to hold attention. But before I leave, I want to say a word to our parents. On learning that your child may have a challenge, it's not easy to learn and to hear. I speak from personal experience. My daughter earlier on had some challenges. And because we faced it early, when she was 5, 6, 7, 8, she is now 16, and she's performing well in school. Not just well academically, but well socially. And so when I speak with you parents, it is not from the position of a minister. It is from the position of a parent who had to come to terms with truth and who is now a parent who can stand here and say that early intervention made a difference in the life of my child, who is now performing outstanding. I want to encourage you, parents, to go with your child on the first day of school. But don't only stop going on the first day of school. Every event, show up. Every parent-teachers meeting, join it and show up. Every conference with the teacher, show up. Because you are in partnership with our education system to ensure that there's a bright future for your child. And I close on this because I say when you go, don't go alone. Grab another parent whom you would have met at orientation. Tell them come. Because the only way in which we are going to create the kind of educational system that will work for every child, not just those that have traditionally been termed bright children. Don't like the term. Because every child is bright in his or her own way. And I speak of that child who was diagnosed on the autism spectrum, but who could pick down and put back up a transistor radio and in fact created his own communication system. But he was considered someone who was special. What I'm saying to you is look for the strength in your child and show up at school as parents and make sure that this education system that we're building is built for your child as well as for every child. On that note, I am just going to say congratulations, graduates. You did not get here on your own, so I say congratulations, parents. And I say congratulations, teachers. And I say to you from a grateful nation, to the people of this country and to the Disabilities Unit and to the Ministry of People Empowerment, thank you for continuing to ensure that every child feels valued.
Thank you very much, Minister McConney. And she spoke to you parents, so parents, I do hope that something that she would have said to you, you take from here today. And don't just take it away today and then tomorrow you don't remember nothing, a word she would have said. And she said very clearly, join the PTA, get a parent you meet on the first day to come along, do that. Don't be only a parent to these children now, be a parent for the next 5-6 years. And parenting is knowing, do you have homework? Did your teacher? No shame, children, no shame. Because they have homework. You know, during COVID, they had Google Classroom. Are they still using the Google Classroom now? Yes. Well, Google Classroom is a part of your education in secondary school. So get reacquainted with Google Classroom, please. If they miss school, the homework comes on Google Classroom. If they have an assignment in Google Docs, it's in Google Classroom. So parents, please don't, I know everybody got a busy schedule. Me, I have one. But I have 2 children in school and I have to be there behind them. You have to get behind your child. The teacher can't do it for you. The teacher still has her own family and her children, or his children as well. So you have to play your role. So I'm going to tell you, stay behind your child. Stay in front of your child. Stay with your child throughout their secondary education, because if you don't, they will lose a whole lot in life. We will go on now to Mr. Shane Helly, who's going to give us a presentation. I just love his presentation, so I hope you do too. Mr. Shane Henley.
Disabled people, obese people too. Whoa, I'm bringing this one this year very special for my friends out there who are differently able. We just somehow always tend to forget our disabled brethren, especially when fed. I hope when I'm done with this melody, it reached the right hearts in society, because it is high time all we understand. Our disabled brethren has made valid contributions, so let me tell you, the disabled, we as people, the disabled, we as people, in construction, carpenter and mason, between me and you, disabled people are people too. The disabled, we as people, the disabled, we as people. Some is doctor and some is lawyer. Amazing but true, disabled people are people too. I like it. Hard day. Whoa. Every time I see a disabled person on their way to work, gives me such motivation. Disability to them is no deterrent. They still try their best to be independent. That's why it hurts. On the other hand, when I see some jerks, they go in this land. You won't find a one-foot man with a gainful job, and one we got two on the streets just waiting to rob. So let me tell you, the disabled, we as people, the disabled, we as people. On computer, man is smart as ever. Between me and you, disabled people are people too. Yes, the disabled, we as people, the disabled, we as people. Some that's bred here and some that's can't cheer. Amazing but true, disabled people like me and you. Whoa. To highlight a few men like Carson and Cleveland, despite being blind, have professional vision. Wesley Worrell and Daniel Coaches, they do try their best to market Barbados. Street singing songs of Amory, a beautiful voice, a charming lady, and then Mr. Energy, he would make you laugh till you're dead. See Patrick doing the dog and the puppy without legs, so let me tell you, the disabled, we as people, the disabled, we as people. Some is baker and some is painter. Between me and you, disabled people are people too. The disabled, we as people, the disabled, we as people. Some school teacher and some is joiner. Amazing but true, disabled people are people too. Whoa. Disabled people, we don't want to be pitied. All we need is love and to be treated equally. Disabled people, despite what me and you say, in this game of life, we still have our part to play. There's a little word that we all call fate, and because of that, you should never discriminate. A
disabled person, because let me tell you, you could live here, go to the accident and you're disabled too. So let me tell you, the disabled, biggest people, the disabled, biggest people. In construction, carpenter and mason, amazing but true, disabled people are people too. The disabled, biggest people, the disabled, biggest people. Let me tell all you, these people are the future. Amazing, unique and true. Disabled children are people too. Alive? Are they? Whoa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Headley. Can you give him another round of applause, please? I know if it's one thing that you're going to remember when you left, is that song. At this time, I don't want to take up too much time because we are truly out of time. And we will have our minister at this time to give his keynote speech. And Mr. Honorable Kurt Humphrey, Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs.
Very special good morning to everyone. Please give yourselves a big round of applause, please. Minister McConney, my good friend, we just had a joke among us. PS, Chief, Director, other members of staff, other members of the government who are here, the parents, and of course to the children. First of all, give Shane another round of applause. He was amazing. This is the crop-over season. I don't know if y'all go to the tents, but you'll be saying encore, encore. Y'all go to the tents? Everybody gets encore these days, but that's a brilliant song. And I don't know if y'all are aware, but the Irving Wilson School, for the most part, those children can't hear. So they couldn't hear the music. So they were dancing, you know, based on the vibration and following their teacher. They're amazing. Please give them a round of applause too. And because we are talking about these things, y'all should go to the finals on Friday and see Granville Carter, Mr. DJ, who is a blind man and the first person with disability to make it to the Calypso finals. So please give him also a round of applause. And the National Disabilities Unit will be sponsoring him to make sure he can have what it is that he needs to have. So this is what it's about. This is why we came to government. This is why we are here. And I was telling Minister McConney this was a joke. I'm going to be very brief. She didn't believe me. But I'm going to be very brief. Because I feel like Kay said a lot of the things I wanted to say. The most Honorable Carrie-Ann Eiffel, my friend, a person for whom I have the greatest admiration, and very soon, hopefully, be working closer together. And one of our disability advocates, Ms. Janelle Odo, who is here. She also works in the ministry. Please give them a round of applause as well. So I was telling Kay, that Minister McConney, that I was going to be very brief. She didn't believe me, but the truth is, I don't have a lot to say except this. I have come to the realization that all of us have a disability, which means that all of us are the same. I find it very difficult to speak of disabled children because we don't lead with what it is that we're not good at. For example, when I was a younger person, I hated to read, right? Like, when a teacher called on me, I remember I went to St. Michael's School first form. I managed to get through primary school by reading very little. Out loud, I read to myself. And she called on me to read in front of the whole class, and I made a horrible mess of it. A terrible mess of it. And that was in first form. Between first and fifth form, I managed not to have to read in class. When they were looking for somebody, I always found a way to hide. Until fifth form, where I was called upon to read again, and I made a horrible mess. I just got so nervous. I made a terrible mess of it. But then I also determined that I was not going to let that happen to me again. So it was a book and a mirror, and I practiced and I practiced. But then I got good at that, but it means that there's still something that I am terrible at. Does that mean that I should lead with the things that I am terrible at? And I think the answer to that has to be no. I believe that every person in the world is walking wounded, walking with something. And people are carrying something. There's a hurt that every single person is carrying. And you don't know who you meet, what hurt they're dealing with on the day they're dealing with the hurt, but everybody's dealing with something. And if I could offer any advice to the world, it would be that we all could just benefit from being a little bit nicer to everyone. During the course of the last year, when we were working on the policy for persons with disabilities, we held over 60 meetings, 60 meetings, with the public, with the various ministries, like the Ministry of Education, and a lot of the meetings were parents. And the one thing we kept hearing over and over was that people were very unkind to children with disabilities. And people were very unkind to parents of children with disabilities. We had employers who couldn't comprehend that if you have a child with a disability, you might need a little bit more time. You've got to give that person a little bit more time, maybe to come in late, maybe to leave early. What kind of world are we living in? And we had to really work, and still are working, to convince employers that you have to give, in some cases, parents a little bit more time. You have to find a way to be flexible to allow that to happen. We really have to do that work. We also found evidence of great discrimination in all aspects of society, if I'm just being honest. When we had those meetings, we felt, the parents told us, children told us. One child told me of a story where he went on a playing field to play with other children who started playing with him until they realized he had a disability. And then that playfulness just turned to hatred almost, and to anger. And the way he cried and the way it made him feel. Parents told me of several stories. One I tell a lot is my friend who was on the bus. She couldn't reach for the handles on the bus. You know, when you have to stand on the bus, you have to hold on. But she has shorter hands. So she barely made it, but her hand got stuck. So when the bus moved off, she was stuck. And the people on the bus just started to laugh. And I asked myself, what kind of world are we living in? So who really has a disability? Is it the child or the people who are laughing? And we really have to ask ourselves, what kind of country do we wish to live in? The question that I've been asking myself a lot of late is, what kind of man do I want to be? And I think it's a question that all men could benefit from, all women. What kind of woman do I want to be? What kind of man do I want to be? How am I going to portray myself today? And hopefully that would help us deal with a lot of the hurt. I feel as a minister, I have to apologize to the children who have disabilities, because I know people sometimes can be cruel. Janelle told a story when she gave the lecture, a very good lecture, and Dwayne of his personal experience as well. And we know that discrimination is real, and that in many cases it is institutionalized. We saw it when we spoke about healthcare, how difficult it is to access healthcare, and that sometimes if a child is autistic, severely autistic, you may have to put the child to sleep, and that costs a lot of money. Parents don't have access to that money. We've got to change these things. And these are the real conversations that I hope that we can have. In our policy, we address a lot of these things. The policy is now being translated to law. I believe we'll have that in the Parliament by November this year. And right now, the disability advocates are working with the various ministries, because it is a big policy, to make sure that we have all the things in it to protect persons with disabilities. If it is the last thing we do as a government, I know I'm committed, I know Minister McConney is committed, we have to make life better for people with disabilities in this country. The Prime Minister would have announced during her debate presentation as well that we were extending the categories of persons who could access disability benefits through the National Insurance Scheme. And I am pleased to say that we put an ad in the newspaper. We invited persons, the parents of children, or people who are Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, and multiple sclerosis. We added 4 more categories. And between Monday and now, 350 persons came forward to register. And I think that's good, because it means 350 more people are likely to be able to access benefits that they previously could not access. And it allows parents to be able to live, and allows children with disabilities also to be able to live. And these are the real things. But I also want to take this opportunity to encourage other persons who have any other disability to come forward and register, so that we would have you in a database as we try to make life better for all, and so on. In closing, I want to say, Kay, that And to the children at primary school, I went to Wilkie Commonwealth School in the Pine. And I went to Wilkie. Only Janelle. So the motto of Wilkie was, we persevere, we succeed. And then I went to St. Michael's School, and the motto there was, nothing without help from God. And so my life, I've tried to say that if I try really hard, but I submit myself to the will of the Lord, that then anything is possible. I combine the two of them. And I want to say to you children, if you work really hard, and you submit yourself to the will of God, you listen to your parents, that I believe you can go on to achieve anything in this country. It is my job to make sure that the barriers that we have are removed, so that the greatness that is inside of you can come to the fore. The disability that is biggest in this country is not a disability you have. The disability that is biggest in this country are the ones that are built into our systems and our institutions that prevent you from being your better self. And these are the things that we have to address. So I believe we're on a good track. We're going to change this country. I hope that over the next few years we will see the changes that I know are coming in education for children, in healthcare, in transportation. Like, trust me, I know all the problems. And we have to go through them one by one and make life better for all of you. I want to thank the teachers. I think teachers are the biggest gift to this country. My fondest memory is of a teacher whose face I cannot remember. Her name was Miss Bino. She taught me at primary school. I cannot tell you a word this woman ever teach me. I can't tell you what she taught. I can't tell you what Miss Bino, let me remember her name. And I remember she always made me feel good. She's always made me feel good. And I would love someday to see Miss Bino, she's still alive, because a teacher who makes you feel good makes a big, big difference in your life. And so I want to thank the teachers. I want to thank you parents. I hope we can do better for you. I hope we can do better as a government and as a country. And I want to say to the children, we love you very much, and go on and continue to excel. Thank you very much.
At this time, we're in for a special part of the program, and we will be presenting our graduates with a special prize. At this time, we invite our social worker from the unit, Mrs. Carjota Holder, who will call the names of the students. We will be asking the Minister of People Empowerment, the Minister of Education, and the Chief Education Officer. You will be the ones that will be presenting the graduates with their prizes, and we're going to ask you, as we call you to present, you will come to the podium as well. At this time, we ask the Honorable Kay McConney to come to the podium, please.
The first graduate is Lachey Bailey. Our second graduate is Letitia Brathwaite. And next we have Nathaniel Brown Curtin. Amari Keto. Okay, doesn't seem like young Amari is here. Our next, Amari. Okay, we will continue. The next person is Cash Chase. next we have Nathan Clark. Our next student is Rivaldo Cox. And the next student is Deshaun Dog. And at this time, we want to thank Honorable Minister McConney for the presentation of the first set. Our next set of prizes will be given to and presented by Dr. Archer Bradshaw. Dr. Archer Bradshaw, like I have a vision in seeing you. At this time, we now invite Aaron Grace. Our next student is Jaden Grace. He's not to be here. We move on to Cody Grace. Cody Grace. And next we have Jamari Hinkson. Next, Lydia Kishner. Shamario Hurley. Cordio Lane. Cordio Lane. Nikolai Mack. Not here. Pauline McCollin. We want to thank you, Dr. Mona Arthur Bradshaw, for the presentation. Yeah. And now we invite Minister Humphrey to do the next presentation. Up next, we have Aria Murray. Up next is Nathaniel Payne. Next is Jalen Peters. Ahija Roach. All right, Anderson Sandiford. Anderson Sandiford. Next, we have Naomi Spooner. Kevin Stout. Kamaya Thompson. Next, we have Aaliyah Watson. And we have Kivani Welch. We want to thank you, Minister Humphrey, at this time. Thank you very much.
Let's give our graduates a round of applause again. At this time, we have one special award I would not say the person's name, and she would be so surprised. We have a camp going at the National Disabilities Unit, and this is the 3rd year. It's called Camp Reach. And when I watched that lady in action, I am in awe. I sat there the other day and I watched her with the children. And it brought me back to the old-time teaching, the old-time protection of children. I saw her wipe the children's one boy's nose. I saw her say, she speaks to them and they will run and say, I'm going to say the name now, Miss Holder, Miss Holder, Miss Holder. They'll go on the trouble, Miss Holder, clothes, they lay down for Miss Holder. And I said, Lord, that is what it used to be, the teacher of yesteryear. And Miss Holder is the principal of the Urban Special Unit. And she has been instrumental within the lives of persons with disabilities. And today she has some of her, pardon? And today she has some of her students here who will be here within this room right now. And Miss Holder would have made a mark in the life of many of these children that are here presently and in the future to come and in the past. And today we salute Miss Holder. Parents, I know you know Miss Holder, because some of them when they came and signed up to the camp, they said, we are bringing the children here because of Miss Holder. And then someone come in and say, we're bringing somebody here because of that person. That means that person did something within their lives or caused them to appreciate them in a way that they will want to be around them. And today, we celebrate Miss Holder. I know we give you a token of our appreciation. We're doing it from the bottom of our heart. Miss Holder, you can come to the podium. You know when I said Miss Holder, are you coming to the graduation? She said, but I have the camp here. I said, don't mind. The children will be good because they have their caregivers and the aunties and volunteers. But you have to come to the graduation. But we salute Miss Holder today. We ask our director, Mr. John Hollisworth, to come and present Miss Holder with a token of our appreciation. Thank you very much, Miss Holder. At this time, we want to acknowledge the presence of our Minister, Cynthia Ford. She represents the elderly of our nation, and we love her so. At this time, we have Dr. Ramona Archer-Brashaw, Chief Education Officer. We're winding down now, who will come and give her closing remarks. She will give her closing remarks. Okay, we have one child that just came to the graduation ceremony. Come, Dr. Archer-Bradshaw. You will present that child with the award, and then you will do the closing remark. What's his name? Ahijah Roach. Please come, sir.
Say protocols having been established? Yes. Protocols having been established. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be here this morning to give these closing remarks. It brings to mind the question that the late, great Errol Walton Barrow is your mirror image. You know what that means? When you look in, yeah, somebody said yes? Oh. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Somebody said your reflection. Your reflection. Yourself. Right now, what I'm seeing is success. I want you to say, I am success. You really are. Give yourselves a round of applause. This ceremony really shows that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Want to put God in front. You heard Minister Kirk Humphrey speak about that. And we know that in life, things that may seem simple are not always easy. A graduation for some may seem like a simple thing, but you had to work really hard to get here, didn't you? You had to work really hard. And we as a Ministry of Education, we understand that things that may seem simple to some do not always come easy. And every day, we work really hard to make sure that things become more simple for you. We think about your teachers, we think about ways that we can train our teachers so that they can teach you better. We think about ways that we can make the subjects more interesting. We think about ways that we can make the exams and the other forms of assessment more interesting. I heard the Most Honorable Carrie-Ann Eiffel talk about the fact that she did not like exams. You heard her say that? But we want now that when you come to school, you're excited to be assessed so that you can show off, somebody's shaking their head, so that you can show off all of your abilities. That is what we want for you. And because of this, we often speak of a firm education system. That is a system that is fair, a system that is inclusive, a system that is relevant, and a system that is modern. Because we want to make sure that we create a bright future for you. You sat the common entrance, and you'll be going to your various secondary schools. But I want you to know that the journey has not ended. This is just the beginning. Let me hear you say that. This is just the beginning. I want you to stay focused at all times. I want you to be your best selves at all times. To be always on your best behavior. When you go to secondary school, you're going to encounter all kinds of people, teachers, students, ancillary staff. Some may be very nice, some may be not so nice. But I want you at all times to be your best selves. I was also researching certain quotes on special education. And I came across one by a lady called Dr. Temple Grandin. She said that there needs to be a lot more emphasis placed on what a child can do instead of what a child cannot do. And I spent the morning looking at these quotes, and Kirk Humphrey got up here this morning and said that, "Are you wasting my time, Minister Humphrey? I should have just listened to you." You know, he said, you know, we always think up front about the things that we can't do. Those who are deemed to be able or those who are deemed to be disabled. But we need to spend more time thinking about all of these things that we can do. It is against this backdrop that I want to thank the teachers, the principals, everybody who played a part in your life. Your contribution has not gone unnoticed, and I ask you to continue to take charge of all of these young people so that you can help them to realize their dreams and possibilities. Parents, we have not forgotten you either. It is important that you remain supportive. Minister McConney spoke about you going to the PTA meetings, going to the various activities. This is not the time to ease off the accelerator. This is the time to apply firm pressure, and apply that firm pressure not to speed to the finish line, but in order to make sure that your children can have the best and be the best. As I close, children, I want to leave you with the words of Marianne Williamson. Say Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson. Say that again. She said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? My question is, who are you not to be? I wish to once again congratulate all of you, and I wish you success in all of your future endeavors.
Thank you very much, Dr. Archer Bradshaw. At this time, we have come to the end. It was just about 2 hours, or under 2 hours, but I know for the children, it would seem longer. And at this time, I want to thank everyone who would have been here. Let me call you from the beginning. I don't want to miss anyone. I'm going to thank all of you who are here, starting with the Honorable Kay McConnell, Minister of Education. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much, Dr. Archer Bradshaw, for your presentation just now. Thank you for being here as well. I know you all are very busy. Thank you. We want to thank you to Carrie Ann Eiffel, our persons, Most Honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, for opening remarks. Thank you very much, Carrie Ann. We want to thank the Irving Wilson School for their presentation. And I know you graduates will remember that song. Try to listen to it on YouTube. Don't only take YouTube and just watch videos and movies, but use YouTube for your education and for the good of yourself. We want to thank Mr. John Hollingsworth, our director, for his welcome. Thank you very much, Mr. Hollingsworth. Mr. Wainers, our deputy director, for his invocation of prayer. Thank you very much. Shane Headley for his performance on Disabled People is People Too. And I know, children, you will go back and listen to that song on YouTube as well, because it's a hit. We would like to thank the staff of the National Disabilities Unit who have worked so very hard. That includes me. We want to thank you guys. You want the ladies on the right, on my right. Thank you very much. I know we usually say the time is short, but we still get it done, and we do it with a bang. Thank you, ladies. We want to also thank the decorator who would have done the decor. Yes. And our intern, Mr. Joshua Gordon. Thank you for the meeting. He's a school child too. And he said he can do media, and he did not let us down. Thank you very much, Joshua. You were in the right place at the right time. We want to thank our decorator who would have done the decor. Thank you very much. Very good job. We want to thank the staff of the Yacht Club for letting us have this atmosphere here. Thank you very much.
For free. Free of cost.
Okay, and as the minister said, free of cost. Thank you very much to the staff of the Yacht Club. Thank you very much, Miss Clark, on the outside. Thank you, ma'am. We want to thank the media for being here, because with you, we can showcase this to the rest of Barbados and around the world. Let them see what we can do and what persons with disabilities have achieved and overachieved. Thank you very much. We want to thank the graduates for being here. Graduates, please stand at this time. And I want everybody to salute the graduates today. We will salute you. So let's stand and salute our graduates. 1, 2, 3. We salute you, graduates. All the best in your future. You may be seated. I want to thank our Minister Kirk Humphrey for being here. That's Mr. Hollis, perfect. Thank you, sir, for being here. You want to hear about our minister. Whenever we have an event, something to represent persons with disabilities, he is always there. If he say he can't make it, we don't expect him, and then we see him show up. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart, Minister Humphrey. We want to thank our parents for being here. Thank you so much. Before you, our graduates will be here today. Thank you for taking time out from your work and that you can come out and bring these children to this celebration. Thank you very much. We want to thank our very own interpreter, Mr. Husband. He's always there for us. We want to thank Ms. Sharissa Moore. She will be one of our interns at the unit as well. Thank you very much, Sharissa. Her stint has finished, but she's still here with us. Thank you very much.